Moving Forward, sponsored by MPW Mocklink TV and Mocklink Internet, online at mpw.org. Each weekday morning, our local talk segment brings you the people who are helping move our community forward. Let's start the show.
Good morning, AM 860, FM 95.1, KWPC. I'm Jordan Davis. Thanks for joining us here this morning on May 14th for Moving Forward. Just want to take a quick second, say hello to Mocklink Phone, your new local phone company. Fiber customers get it now. Switching is easy, and you can keep your old number. Learn more at mpw.org. Once again, this is Moving Forward on AM 860 and FM 95.1 KWPC. And with me in the studio this morning, Kevin Raasch from Muscatine Lumber. How are you this morning, Kevin?
Great, Jordan. Thanks for having me.
Well, we're really excited to have you in here speak with us a little bit about Muscatine Lumber, what all that you do, and what all you've got going on right now. It's do-it-yourself season, so people are going to be getting outside. There's a lot to be done, decks to be built, there's kitchens to be refurnished, bathrooms, all that kind of stuff, and you guys are the supplier for all of those do-it-yourself projects. So I'd love to hear just really what's going on right now.
You know, we've been busy in the last couple of years. We're coming up in June on our anniversary, but we've been busy inside the store doing a lot of remodeling and also outside the store. But you're right. We're coming up on the season that everybody wants to be outdoors. Hopefully we'll get past this rainy season and actually start to see some sunshine again.
Wouldn't that be nice?
But with that, we want to get people to think about some of the projects they've got going outside. Decks, for instance, you know, they're great entertainment spaces. They're great outdoor living opportunities. So to help with that, we're offering a promotion where you can get a free grill when you purchase a deck.
All right.
So we can get out there and actually enjoy that deck once you've got done all the work to get it put into place.
And those are Traeger grills, correct?
You know, we've got a variety of charbroil grills and Traeger grills. Depending on the size of the deck that you're going to put together, we'll give you that free option. But you're right. We have the Traeger grills and a lot of accessories with them, the sauces and rubs, as well as different flavors of the pellets so you can enhance the meat. We've got cherry, apple, hickory, mesquite. For a few.
Those are some great ways to make some really good meat on the grill.
And I know we got a lot of barbecue enthusiasts out there that like to experiment and try different things with their grilling.
Absolutely, and it's going to be grill season here. Well, like you mentioned, as soon as the weather decides to cooperate, but it'll be grill season. People want to get out, get on those decks, and spend a little bit of time outside. Spend some time grilling. Let the kids run around in the backyard while you enjoy yourself on the deck.
Exactly, and the grills are a nice option, but also the decks. You know, we've got a line of Duralife decking. It's a very low maintenance type of a decking, and a lot of opportunities for railing. So you can get out and really enjoy that, and not have to spend your whole summer, you know, doing the upkeep to get to maintain them.
Because what is some of the upkeep that you might see with some of the higher maintenance decks? Is that like reapplying, like I can't think of the right word for it.
Well, the stains and the wood preservatives that you would need when you're using a wood deck. Obviously, that's something due to weather, sun fading. You know, it just is something that you have to maintain on a continuing basis. So using something like a composite decking like the Duralife, you know, it's basically just a matter of washing it off now and then with a little bit of a broom and a wet hose, and you're ready to go.
Excellent. Keep you from having to spend your whole summer down on your knees scrubbing the
Exactly. You work hard all week, so we want you to have fun during the weekends.
Absolutely. That's great. So now you've got some pretty high quality products over at Muscatine Lumber. Can you tell us a little bit about why your products, what you guys do to make sure that you're grade number one?
We do. We try to select products that offer a significant value. They're not something that's going to give out in a short amount of time, so you're essentially wasting your money. So we want you to spend that money into a product that's going to last and give you some length down the road. So the Duralife is another option. It's one of the longest warranties on the market for composite decking. The Traeger grills, another fine option. They're a quality product. You can do a lot with them. And again, we want to have some fun. We've got Pelican kayaks, for instance.
Really?
You know, so again, it's something you can enjoy the weekends after you've worked hard all week long. So we'll have a little fun with Muscatine Lumber.
Yeah, you're Muscatine Lumber, but it seems like you're a lot more than just lumber.
We are, but we are a full-line lumber yard. We have 2 large buildings that are drive-through, so you can pull in out of the rain, out of the sunshine, and then load your vehicles and then get home to your projects.
Well, that's great. And now, so you're the place to come for all your building needs here in Muscatine. So if you're starting your project, you're over the weekend or maybe sometime, end of the day and during the weekday, if you need supplies, you're going to go to Muscatine Lumber, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'd encourage people to stop in and see us. We may not have it in stock that particular instant, but if you're planning for your project, we can usually get the materials you're going to need in time for your project to start.
And you do help a little bit with planning for projects. So if you see something, if they bring in their plans or their blueprints, you'll be able to work with them to kind of see what they need, what kind of quality lumber, anything like that, and what they're going to need in order to complete that project, right?
Yeah, we'll help you with the takeoff and offer suggestions for materials and what would help fit your needs, and offer the best value for what your project might need.
Okay, and also the design studio. Now, I was taking a look through your website, just kind of checking out all the different things. So you have a design studio where people can come in and see some of the different ways that they could be stylizing their kitchens, bathrooms, decks, anything like that. So where do those designs come from?
Well, the cabinets themselves, we've selected construction materials that again will offer high quality, high value. So they're all solid wood construction, soft close hinging, soft close drawers. And with those, you can have a variety of options available for you on choices of selections, colors, and styles, and so forth. In addition, we have our real closets to help organize that closet when you do have to be inside due to the rain. But along with that, then we also offer high-quality granite Cambria tops to finish off your projects.
Awesome. And so your displays, are they open all week long? You can come into the displays?
They are. So we're open Monday through Friday from 6:30 a.m. to 6 p.m., Saturdays from 8 to 1.
Excellent. So people can come in, stop in, see the displays, decide what they're going to do. You'll hook them up with the right lumber, with the right pieces, the right countertops, everything like that, so that they can get what they need in order to complete their projects at home. And also, you'll help them work together in conjunction with maybe some crews that will help do that as well.
Sure. We've got a host of fine contractors that have done business with us, and we'd be happy to give them out as referrals to you as you go forward with your projects.
And now we've already mentioned decks. So what are some of the things that you see during the summer that people are working on the most?
Well, decks, and then we also have our line of old hickory buildings. And we've got several of those, about 10 of those out on our lot right now. But they'll do a variety of different options, sizes available with that, colors and so forth. So you can really do something outside if you're needing additional storage, or the big thing right now is she sheds, man caves, things like that. Playhouses that you can, have that extra living space if you want to get a little bit away from the house, but don't want to drive 30 or 40 miles to the lake.
Right, but you can throw one of those in the backyard, go out and have your little space that's separated from the indoor, separated from the noise.
Exactly.
Excellent.
Exactly.
That's really great, and we're glad that you're here to tell us about that. Once again, Kevin Raasch from Muscatine Lumber joining us here for Moving Forward. Thanks so much for being in the studio with us. Now, what else is going on with Muscatine Lumber? Is there anything big happening down there at the store?
Well, we had a scheduled event last month with our tiny houses.
I do remember that.
And unfortunately, the weather didn't cooperate with us, so we're trying to put something together. We're looking at something perhaps sometime in June.
Okay.
We had a tremendous amount of interest in those. Many people that maybe just curious about what is involved in a tiny house, but several that actually showed interest in actually purchasing one. So we're trying to pull that together. We've got several vendors that have been in contact with us to do that. Some of them from as far away as Minneapolis, St. Louis, and Des Moines. So as we coordinate that, or we can select a better date and a time that works for everybody, we'll try to put that information out for everybody.
That's perfect, and that's really interesting. The tiny house concept. Now, when I first heard the tiny houses, I was thinking it was just the display model of what you would do for a full house. But no, you truly mean just a tiny house. Now, do a lot of those get put on trailers, or are a lot of those that you set down on a foundation and that's where it stays?
There are two different avenues for construction of those. Most of them are on wheels. So they're portable, so you can move around the country as you desire. There are a few that people would prefer to put down on a more permanent location, but we're seeing that more of the interest is in the mobile type. But then we become a little bit concerned with municipalities and the certain legal issues that they face, because in most places they still consider those more of an RV because of the wheels. So there are concerns about what parts of the country, cities, communities will accept them. So there's a lot to learn about them in addition to the construction of them themselves.
And it is kind of a weird concept, the tiny house on wheels rather than being a trailer home or a RV. It kind of fits a whole different system, and it is kind of strange for, I'm sure, cities to see that coming in and be like, well, we don't know what to do with that. We don't know how to facilitate those people and make sure that they're charged the right thing or they're in the right spot. Get water, because what's some of the draws of the tiny house and what does it take to get it hooked up to electricity and water and things like that?
Well, I think some of the things that are exciting to people is the mobility of them. In addition to that, there's the sheer cost. I mean, you're not investing, $250,000 to $500,000 in a house and having the large mortgage payments. With those, they're generally, I've seen prices anywhere from $15,000 upwards to $150,000 depending on what goes into them. So I think that's a part of it too, that people don't want that long-term debt involved in having a house. So it creates some issues with again, where those are positioned. If you had a $500,000 home, you certainly wouldn't want a tiny home parked next to you,
right?
And causing some interruption in your property values and just the aesthetics of the area. So those are some of the issues that the tiny house culture is going through. In addition to that, I think they're learning as well, how things are built, what kind of products to use, and we are starting to see things that are geared more to that industry to make it more affordable, and they're not trying to adapt current building materials to fit the tiny house movement.
I see. Now that makes a lot of sense. So what is Muscatine Lumber's role in the tiny houses? Are they brought to you built?
They are. We're really experimenting, to be honest with you. We've considered the viability of actually manufacturing and putting them out there. Again, the one issue with those is they tend to be a custom type unit. People
Right.
have certain needs that they have in their lifestyles, so it's difficult to do a mass production type of a facility, but we're at least experimenting with it to find out just what the interest is out there and what kind of materials would be required to do that. Many of them we're seeing things like PEX tubing, the plastic tubing that's now being used in new construction. So that adapts well to the tiny house because of its lightweight and its ease of use. So as that progresses, we're starting to see how many of those materials we can bring into our store and use for regular construction as well as for something in a tiny house idea.
I see. So it's a little bit of experimentation first to see what the interest is, where the draw is, what kind of materials people want to see the most used in these tiny homes, and then you'll make decisions on how exactly to market those in the future.
And I think too, for us, we're trying to be something that's a little unique. Look at things that are maybe not just a fad, but maybe have some interest and desire.
Longevity.
Exactly. And some things that people can use in their normal houses and not just in a tiny house situation.
I see. Well, that's really interesting. Well, thanks so much for sharing all that with us, Kevin. It's do-it-yourself season, so what do you want to tell people about getting down to the store?
Get out and get busy. Stop in and see us. If we don't have something you're looking for, give us a holler. Again, we've been open 2 years, but we're still tweaking our inventory. We want to have what people are wanting in Muscatine, and we're not afraid to go out and look for it. So just stop in, give us a holler. We're at 1700 Grandview Avenue, and we'll do what we can to meet your needs.
Well, it sounds like it, and all the great things that you've been telling us about here today. I'm really excited to be able to see. I mean, there's so many options here for things that you can do through Muscatine Lumber in order to get your project done. So, thanks so much for joining us, Kevin. Once again, Kevin Raasch from Muscatine Lumber here joining us for Moving Forward. Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you, Jordan.
A pleasure, as always, here on Moving Forward, AM 860, FM 95.1, KWPC. I want to remind everybody, MockLink is always Muscatine's fastest internet, and gigabit speed is coming. MockLink TV beats satellite and includes video and music streaming. New subscribers save big, even more when you bundle. Learn more at mpw.org. This has been Moving Forward on the voice of Muscatine.com.
We'd like to thank MPW Digital TV and MockLink Internet, the local providers.